Grand Rising. So, we live in a world today where there are so many opinions, so many fears, so many worldviews. It's just like wild, the times that we're living in. And everyone is so divided. It's not just by politics, it's by red versus blue. It used to be north versus south. Now it's red versus blue, left versus right, child against adult, trans against, or gays against straight. It's just like all these different divisive, like holy rabbit hole divisiveness. And again, because everyone has their opinions and stuff, people parent differently. Like we are all parenting differently. We all have our own views, worldviews of everything. So we all are raising our children very differently. And for me, I was mirroring a lot of behaviors the way I was raised. I was very much the mom that was like a high Hitler. We have to have it my way. If you don't listen, you're getting a spanking. Just you listen to me, like very ego. It's very ego-based the way I was parenting. I made a lot of mistakes with Avalani. I didn't know better. But now with Boyan, I know better. Okay, I know better. I've seen things. I have done a lot of inner work, a lot of healing on myself. So that way I can be a better mom, not only for Avalani, but also for Boyan and for Andrew's daughters. And for any other kids that come into the future. Not just our kids, but also like my nieces and nephews, like all kids. Like I truly treat all kids with respect and kindness. And I don't discriminate. Like I don't ever want to make kids feel left out. I don't ever want to make them feel scared or sad or embarrassed or shameful when they make a mistake. And I was doing that with Avalani. I was, listen, I've done some damage to that girl that we've both been healing together. But I learned from it. And I also learned that in society, people are going to judge you no matter what you do, right? So for example, one of the things that I got judged on the most was Avalani had a pacifier until she was 3. And like, that was her, like, as humans, we have an oral fixation, right? Either it's her pacifier. I know somebody who sucked their thumb till they were 19 years old, and now it's just food, right? It's following the same footsteps as my family. The big one is that they judge other people who have addiction issues, but they can't stop stuffing their face with food. So while you're judging other people for having addiction issues, your addiction is no different. It's hypocrisy. And that's something I had to learn about my life, is that I was judging people for things, but it's like, okay, but take a look at your life. Just because it looks different or it's a different substance does not mean it's not an addiction issue, which that's psychological. Like that's something you need to heal for yourself so you don't become addicted to things, so you don't get stuck in these like things, unless it's good for you, right? But even then, like you should switch things up. It shouldn't always be the same. You should always be switching things up. And that's how parenting is. Parenting, like some things that work for your first kid is not going to work for your second kid or your third kid. Like every person is so individually different and authentic that we need to cater to our children. And one person I'll tell you, or the people I'll tell you who are not catering to your children's needs, is the school system. They don't know your children. They are making every kid literally the same when not every kid is the same. They're making them learn all the same things. Okay, making them all sit down. They are missing out on their childhood when you put them in these little prison camps. Okay? It's not natural. And sure, they may have a little bit of fun, like, right, they have their friends and stuff, but truthfully, like parenting, you should be parenting your own child. And part of the issue I'm seeing in society, and this is what happened with me, maybe it's not the same for you guys, but for me, what I saw was I had to go to work. I was a single mom. I was like, okay, get me back to work. Right when I had Avalani, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to go back to work. I'm going to, be this boss bitch and like get my life, like have money for me and my child. And I did that. But in the process of doing that, because money and because material things became more important, and not like that I needed fancy stuff. Like I wanted to buy her clothes. I wanted to buy her nice things. Like, right. I was always going to the Baby Depot or whatever, and Woodbury, whatever it's called, that baby store. And I was always buying like nice things for Avalani. I was always, figuring out what I can get for her and just spoiling the shit out of her. But here's what happened. Like I had like playing with her made me feel anxious. It was boring to me. I felt anxious. I wanted to be on my phone instead. Like I could not be on my phone when I would play with her. And I remember I used to like get mad because like my mom was like that with the TV. Like it was like very much like this judgment. My mom like, oh, the TV is more important than us. Well, then I started doing the same thing with my kid. I started mirroring that same behavior where my phone became more important than my kid. Me debating people on the internet became more important than me playing and connecting with my kid. And I'm like, I had to take a look at myself and the way I'm parenting. And like, then she would like bother me. So when I get mad at her and irritated because she's interrupting me as I'm like trying to debate somebody, and it's like heated debate. And like, this is not good energy to bring home to my child. And like, I wanted to be a politician someday. Like, I thought maybe someday I'd be president, first woman president, who knew, whatever. But now I'm like, I don't want anything to do with politics. Like, after I saw the campaigning world and the people who are in there, I want nothing to do with that at all. I just want to stay in my own lane and raise my own family and let people do what they want. Like, they will get their own karma. They will get their own stuff. It doesn't matter. You should not be judging people on how they parent. You should not be pushing your views and your ishiness on other people. And that's what that is. Like, politics, religion, all that's worldly. We're not all supposed to be the same. You're not supposed to worship Jesus. You're not supposed to worship a man. You're supposed to take a look at yourself, go inward. How am I treating people? Am I treating people in a lovingly manner, which is patient and kind? Or am I being arrogant and boastful? Am I pushing my own fears on people? Because a lot of parents push their own fears onto their children. Right? Like, most parents, like, I was talking to, I think she was like a 15-year-old, and she was really upset because her mom won't let her have Snapchat. And I'm like, that's dumb. Like, to me, that's dumb. And me and my friend actually got in a fight about it because I brought it up to my friend who I was at her child's birthday party, and it was someone that she used to babysit for her. And she's like, but there's stuff on there, Stephanie. It's dangerous. I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, I have gotten messages from like, oh, like the 18 plus, whatever. But you just ignore those messages. You don't have to respond to those messages. Like, a kid would know that. Like, a teenager is smart enough to know not to respond back to those messages. And so I personally, I gave Avalani a phone at 3. And that was never my plan. Like, she was never going to watch YouTube. She was never going to watch TV. And then I became a mom, and I'm like, oh my God, this is a lot harder than I thought it was. It's like, you go from like literally having your own life, doing your own thing, to having this being that needs you 24/7. And it is very overwhelming. As a mom, it is very overwhelming. I didn't realize, right? Like, I wanted 10 kids at one point in my life, and now I'm like, oh my God, this shit is hard. And then the more kids you have, it's just like they all just cluster up and they go do whatever. And then most parents don't have time to connect with their children individually because they have so many kids. And so I really am happy that I did wait the 7 years. Not that it was necessarily planned that way, it's just the way it worked out. I didn't know if I was going to have any more kids, which made me sad because my siblings have always been most important to me. And so I just want Avalani to have that. And she does, and she will, and she, you know, obviously she has 2 other brothers from her dad that hopefully one day she'll get to meet, but like, I wanted her to grow up with siblings, because again, that was like really important to me. Like, I love my sisters. Like, I love when we were kids. Like, I actually like that my mom didn't connect with us really because, I mean, I wish she would have a little bit more in some ways, but again, no one's perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm learning from my mom. I'm learning from my grandma. I'm learning from my sisters. I'm learning from everybody. We're always learning, and I'm always taking things that I want from other people, that I want to, like, I look at the good and the bad, on how parents do things. And so for me personally, like I said, I was going to not do all these things for Avalani, but I did give her a phone at 3. Not on purpose. It just ended up being a phone that she could use to like watch YouTube or whatever while I had to work, because I had to work. I had to make money so I could try to figure out how to be like successful for me and my child, because it was me. I wasn't getting child support from her dad. I had a place to live, thankfully, rent free, but like I had to pay daycare. I had to pay all this money. Like, having kids is not free, obviously, and it should be. Like, the most basic thing, like, living should be free, personally. Like, I believe that living should be free. You could grow your own food. We could build our own houses. I have friends who have the solar things on their house, and it literally creates energy for their house. They don't have an electric bill. So you look at how the sun gives energy to your home. We don't need to be paying for anything. And the fact that these big corporations have us paying for stuff is really concerning. But anyways, sorry, back to the phone. So I gave Avalani a phone at 3. She's had Snapchat. I did worry about her posting pictures of herself naked on there, so I did have to monitor her. I monitored her, and I said, hey, like, here's the thing. You cannot, like, I know it's funny. Haha, it's funny. It's innocent. But we can't post pictures of herself naked on the internet because that's inappropriate. That's why I had to teach her. You just have to teach them how to be responsible with the phone, with the technology, because whether you like it or not, we are living in a world of technology. Like, we have to figure out how to coexist with technology. And it is causing, like, this electronic, the TV, the phones, all of it does create addiction issues. But what's used for evil can also be used for good. Let's remember that, right? Let's create balance in life. And so now my child is learning by herself, with my guidance, how to use technology, how to be responsible with it. And she has her own YouTube right now. Like, she makes these cute little videos. She's made the funniest videos on my Snapchat that I've saved. Now we have all these memories of us together because she's learned how to create memories. She's learning how to create content on this thing because she is the creator. She creates. My children are the creators. They're coming to create their own lives, not be put in some system that destroys their creativity, destroys their childhood, destroys their imagination. Avalon is learning naturally through life. And I'm actually learning now with her. And I was learning, I taught myself before. After I got out of school, I didn't stop learning. I researched topics for myself, and I found out that we've been lied to on a massive scale and on so many things. Having morals and knowing the way things took place in our history and how things actually happen and what Christians have actually done to people. We're actually looking into real history, not what the schools, distract you with. And the way that society raises their parents and all these fears on the internet, and everything else. We really need to watch the way we're parenting our kids and the fears that we're projecting on them. We need to allow our children to be children and not force them to be our little slaves. I personally believe that we should be serving our children, and that we should allow them to be kids. I mean, the messes, yeah, it's annoying. They suck. But I don't force Avalani to clean up. She sees me cleaning up, and once she sees me cleaning up, then she kind of starts helping a little bit. Or she wants to organize stuff, or she wants to help fold laundry sometimes. It's not all the time, but she actually wants to help with things because she sees that mom's doing these things. This is what I need to do. She's watching me run a household, and she's going to learn how to run a household. Being a homemaker has become a lost art because moms have been forced to go to a job, be separated from their kids, which then causes more anxiety because we just have to shut off our emotions and our feelings. We miss our kids, and we don't have to bring them to this daycare for some stranger to watch them. That's not going to love our children the same way that we are. Right? You're paying somebody else to not love your kid while it's so silly what we've done with society and how duped we have been by this system. Women, if you want to have a baby, I'm sorry, you need to pick one or the other, either a career or having a baby. Because unless you have a husband who is more balanced in his divine feminine, is more nurturing, because maybe he had a very nurturing mother growing up and he's more nurturing, then that might be different, right? There are times that I've asked Andrew, I said, how do you feel if I was the breadwinner? Because some men's egos can't handle it. And he was like, I would love it. And honestly, once Boyan's older and he's not on the boob, I wouldn't mind me going out and starting my businesses while he plays with the kids and connects with them and teaches them. He definitely has a lot more patience than I do. I will say that. I have developed a lot more patience because of Andrew. And again, that's what love is. It's patient and it's kind. It's not arrogant and boastful. It's not putting people down, which a lot of parents will put their children down for making mistakes. I've seen it. Or oh, don't run, you're gonna fall down and get hurt. It's no, let them run around, let them get hurt, let them explore, let them live fearlessly. A lot of parents are projecting their own fears onto their kids, and I'm seeing it, and I was doing it. I was doing the same thing to my kid. And I'm not trying to judge people how people parent. Everyone parents their own way, and everyone has their own ways of doing things, just like I do. And people have judged me for the way I parent. And here's the deal. It works for me. It doesn't work for you. That's fine. But this works for us and our family. And this is what brings the most happy vibes to our life, rather than this constantly being in control and manipulating. And, we laugh, we joke, we make jokes to each other. I let my child roast me. I think it's funny. I want to get to know her. I want to get to know my child. I don't want to create this image of a good little Christian girl who worships Jesus Christ. Okay? That's not what I want for my kid. I want to figure out who she is, because she is funny, dude. She used to annoy me a lot because I was unhealed. But now that I've been healing and I've been looking at the world differently, I've been looking at her and I've been putting myself in her shoes, because I was her age once. And I did have feelings of that age. And I am remembering through Avalani, I am remembering things that I'm oh my God. Oh my God. And it sucks because I really want to share the things that I remember and the things that happened to me. And it's not to maliciously bash my family, but my family, I'm using them as examples, and I'm using myself as an example. And I don't blast my family to hurt them or to maliciously make them look bad or anything else. I'm learning and, again, remembering. by what I'm learning from what I'm remembering. And I'm learning through Avalani. And I'm learning what my parents, what my sisters, what all of us have done wrong. I'm learning the ways that I've mistreated people. I'm always learning. I'm always like understanding myself better. And when I was so focused in religion and like, we have to worship Jesus Christ, this is the way, there's only one true way, and that's Jesus. It was making me force my child to be this image that the church would accept. We can't do that. What would people think? Oh, they're going to judge us. There's this fear of everyone else judging me because I was judging everybody else. That's what religion does to people. It makes you judge other people because, oh, they don't have my beliefs, so they're going to go to hell. And I truly believe that anybody who did not follow Jesus was going to go to hell. That's what I truly believed in my heart. And that's what a lot of Christians believe in their heart, that anybody who does not worship Jesus, they don't have a place in heaven. What? That vibration, that thought, that all of that put me in a vibration of hell. I was constantly overstimulated. I was anxious about everything. Everything had to be my way, by Hitler. You know, that's what I call them Nazis. Because it's your authoritarian way of raising your children, of raising your family. And it's based off your own views and your own fears and your own conspiracies that you've researched. Let your kids be kids. Learn who they are. And who cares if your kid is a pacifier till they're 3? Who cares if they're not potty trained at 4? Some kids learn faster than others. Sometimes like they'll eventually they're going to get it. Eventually they're going to get it. And for everybody else to come at you and be like, you need to have them potty trained. You need to do this. You need to do that. Like, shut the fuck up. If you don't want me critiquing your parenting, then don't talk about mine. You need to, whatever energy you put out, you're going to get back. And that's how I am. Like, if I see someone constantly, my shit, I'm like, you know what, listen up. Here's how I feel about you, so stop judging me. And of course, they get all offended. Oh my God, I can't believe you said that. I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you would say that to me. I can't believe you say the shit you said to me. We're all just at each other. We're all just constantly fighting with each other. And like, I'm just over it. I want to live in peace and harmony. I want to laugh again. I want to play again. I want to be a kid again. And you can be a kid and an adult. Like, you can like have your inner child. Like, your inner child's always there. It's always with you. And you can play with your kids. And you can connect with them. And you need to meet them at their level and stop forcing them to meet you at your level. Because that doesn't work. I've seen it. It doesn't work. So, happy parenting, y'all. If this video helped you, great. And if it didn't, then you had your time wasted. I don't really care. Love you.